Your Excellency, penye ulituacha tu penye tulikupigia kura tuko hapo. Na wewe ujue wewe ni mzigo yetu na sisi ni mzigo yako. Lazima tubebane.
Wewe ndio kiongozi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Hawa watu wa hapa Wazingishu hawana kiongozi mwingine. Kiongozi ni wewe. Na tuko nyuma yako. Mbele na nyuma. Kulia na kushoto. Juu na chini.
Ndio pia wale wanatembea hapa na kusema the government is coming to a stop, nothing is going. There is a lot your government is doing. The only challenge we have is bad and negative publicity.
Na mimi nataka nikueleza Your Excellency, unajua sasa nyingine hivi vitina ndogo ndogo hiyo usisikie hiyo vitina ndogo ndogo hiyo. Unajua nimesikia mandaka akikwambia huko sitting room, Your Excellency, ukiwa hapa Wasingishu ama ukiwa hapa Rift Valley, nataka nikuhakikishia kwamba uko nyumbani kushinda kwingine kote.
I give you my personal commitment that I will make sure as your deputy that our viongozi wengine they don't go astray. Namna hiyo. Tunaelewana? Hata vile umeona hapa leo wako na tabia mzuri wanaendelea wakienda mzuri.
Najua wakati mimi niliwacha ile ya matusi, sasa naangalia hizi nguo ambao watu wetu wanashona. Wachaneni na hiyo mambo ya WhatsApp za matusi. Kuna vitu vizuri sana zinauzwa kwa internet, zinatengenezwa na Wakenya hapa. Tuende kwa hizo sites, tununue bidhaa za vijana wetu. Tuachane na watu ya fitina na kelele.
So that's the president and of course the host of leaders when they were speaking at Rivertex on Friday during the reopening. Was it opening? Reopening of Rivertex in Eldoret. And now it makes you wonder. A week before, that is Sunday, the other Sunday, we saw a very angry president, or you heard, or you read, those who don't understand the language, you read, a very angry president talking about the political party. And it caused quite a bit of heat, especially from the central Kenya region. And now, 6 days later, it appears like we are back to factory settings and everything is peaceful. What are we hiding?
I don't know. I think in my view, first of all, the timing of the president's visit to Eldoret, I think it was very deliberate. There are two things that could have happened. One is to try and calm down his support base, which is partly Rift Valley. But I think before he goes to his main support base, which was Central Province, I think the idea was to go to Rift Valley and tackle where the most noise is coming. Because remember that the problem that is in Central Province is Central Province, but partly engineered by his deputy from the Rift Valley. So I think it was tactful that he goes to the Rift Valley, tries to tackle the discontent there, and then I think there is a plan to go to the Central Province to try and do that as well. You can see that the script was, let's all behave well, starting from the president himself. He was very careful not to be angry, and this comes, like you have said, just 1 week from the Akorino Nini when he was really on top of his voice. He is actually saying, you know, mambo ya matusi mimi liliacha, wachanini ya mambo ya WhatsApp, let's go to the Rivertex and do all these kind of things. And you can see Ruto, and it's very interesting, when the deputy says, unaona kila mtu yuko kwa tabia mzuri. What does that really say? It means that the tabia mbaya that these guys have
comes from somewhere.
And he says, like, you know, I will take care of this president, meaning that the tabia mbaya and the rant and the attacks on the deputy presidents have finally been owned up to. It means that he is actually the owner of the script against the president.
But Mheshimiwa Githinji, how genuine is that? The loyalty that we see the deputy president exuding towards the president whenever they are together, we don't exactly see it when he's in separate events. Of course, he doesn't attack him directly, but can this loyalty be trusted?
You know, it's very difficult to show dissent in full face of your superior, and very easy to do it behind his back. And this is what has been happening. And the president was very categorical, and he chose his venue very carefully. The Akorino event at Kasarani, the president was speaking to his constituency, his core constituency, which is his base. You know, all politics is local. You come from somewhere and go somewhere else. So you have to start from your base In his case, his base is Central Kenya. And if you listen to his words very carefully, he said some very powerful things in Gikuyu, and translated into Kiswahili or English, it means the same thing. He said, you are not going anywhere without these people. Now, who was he talking to? He was not talking to random MPs who are put in some Jubilee nomination somewhere. He was
but they have been the most angry.
But you see, to say that you are speaking here, going around saying how you will become big, kuneneha, how you will become big. So who is that who is becoming big? And he said you will not go anywhere without these people. And he wasn't talking to these people, they are Corinos, but these people, Central Kenya constituency. That was his message.
So do you think
that you may go around having some people going around tanga-tangaing saying they're doing work for you in Central Kenya, but Central Kenya is united on one thing. Their leader today is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. They have not decided who their leader is going to be tomorrow. That is a conversation yet to be had. And the president was very categorical in making that statement and making that point that, you know, you can say what you want, but without these people, you're going nowhere, which is a fact. Because at 35% of registered voters in Kenya, which is the Central Kenya collective, is 35% of registered voters. So you just need 15% plus one vote to get to the presidency. So without them, is what he was making the point. And he was also making the point that who do these people ascribe to and subscribe to? It is him. He is the undisputed king of Central Kenya.
All right, despite the fact that we're seeing a division between the ruling party, Jubilee, do you think that this visit to the Rift Valley will sort of ease tension between Deputy President William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta?
As for easing tension, I don't think tensions can be eased. This is going to be a transition election in 2022, so stakes are very, very high. So tensions will continue to mount from today onwards, as they have been mounting consistently. But politicians want to play it, they want to reconcile today and then send some emissaries behind there to dissent out there and to try and still show that they have. Because William Ruto's strategy is very simple. He knows that without Central Kenya, he cannot ascend to the presidency. That is a given. And even if he knows that he cannot get Central Kenya as a bloc, because Central Kenya, unfortunately, historically has always voted as a bloc, if he cannot get that bloc, his best bet is to split it.
But this time it's very split, and I want to take it away from you.
Who told you?
It appears that there's a team that is Team Kieleweke, Team Tanga. They are reading from different scripts.
Well, this is what I was telling you, my brother.
Is it acting?
Sam, Jubilee, in the nomination of 2017, which is at the point where they started to kill the party, when they rigged the election, and it's not me who's saying this story was we always suspected it and knew it on the ground, and everybody on the ground knows it. But David Murathe, no less than the vice chairman of the party himself, in this very studio, came and admitted that the rigging was done at the highest levels in the party against the popular leadership in Central Kenya. The reason being
the question internal
to remove them,
parties.
So that people who can be selected and hand appointed to be put in those places can go around now singing the praises of one man. That is not the ground.
Okay, let's allow me to rope in Honorable Richard in this conversation.
Yes.
Then, at the end of the day, is the Jubilee's party, the survival of Jubilee party, pegged on two people, in this case, the DP and Uhuru Kenyatta? If those two today were to leave or to exit, will there be a Jubilee party?
All political parties in Kenya are based on individuals. We actually do not have any manifesto of significance. We do not discuss issues which affect the common mwananchi. The political parties are basically vehicles which make us move from one period to another. And the noise and the cantankerous nature you see from the members of the Jubilee party is simply because I don't think there's much that they would share. It is just that you took TNA, which was an independent outfit, you brought URP, which was being managed by the DP, merged the two items without even consultations. So
when it comes to our political parties, the politics in it, should we borrow a leaf from the likes of America, where political parties are based on issues and not individuals?
I think this is something that is obvious. it is automatic that we need to seriously look at issues of the environment, look at the issues of governance in our country, look at the issue of the way we are borrowing money, look at the issues of our economic management. These are matters that will be substantive in Parliament and any other, even in the Senate and any other arms of government, only when actually we have political parties that believe in anything.
But Mheshimiwa Nyonka, just before you go on, is that a possibility? Because politics is about politicians. Politicians are individuals. Yourself, you belong to Fort Kenya.
I have been through 4 different political parties in the last 4 years. But
wait a minute.
Sam.
And no, wait.
Yes.
Recently, we saw you supporting Deputy President William Ruto in his ambitions. Then, sometimes towards the end of May, you ditched him and went back home.
Yes.
I mean, what are you looking at? Is it a problem of the parties or yourselves as politicians?
Sam, if it was me, I would not be elected today. I've been elected for the last 18 years. So what does it tell you? Every time, my brother Githinji was my chair of Defense and Foreign Relations in the last Parliament. I was shocked this man lost his election.
I didn't lose.
Wait, he was rigged out. Whichever. No, hold on. Whichever.
Okay.
So let me wait. See, the point I'm making.
No. There was no election.
Just hold on.
You cannot lose what is not there.
Chair, wait. The point I'm making, Sam, is this. If you look at our political history and you look at the way our political parties behave, you're always taken into the guillotine. If you are not careful, and that is why I started running on KANU. I left KANU, I came to PDP, I got elected, left PDP, went to ODM, got elected. When I noticed that certain interests wanted to make me a victim in the nomination thing he's talking about, I left. My voters always supported me. The only mix, and I always hear this on social media, people talk about me, that I'm an MP who has run from one party to the other. Name me a Kenyan politician who has never moved to less than 5 parties.
And that brings me back to my original question. Is
Everybody.
Politics in Kenya pegged on the politics of individuals rather than issue-based?
It's pegged on politics of 2, individuals and the community you come from. He's a very unique man to be elected from Masaini as a senator. I don't think he had a choice anyway. But he had to come in on ODM.
Senator, where do you stand on this?
The point I'm saying, let me finish this. The point I'm making is this. That doesn't mean that we can't change the narrative. That doesn't mean that we can't have political parties. That is, for me, is the next level. Secondly, I think we are too harsh on ourselves. America has been an independent country for 200 years. I mean, look at the British. You have 2 political parties in Britain that believe in something.
Okay, take South Africa as an example.
Yes.
The ANC and the EFF, all those are based on issues.
Negative. EFF came because there was no space for Malema to survive in
As
the
an
ANC.
opposition
No internal democracy.
No internal democracy.
You get that.
All political parties in Africa are the same. It's a basket case of non-issues.
Oh, no, I wouldn't go
Senator
so far as to call it a basket.
Senator,
I think
just before you go, so we have an election in 2022, that's for sure, in August. What's the date today? 24th of June, 2019, right? So then, how do we shield ourselves from yourselves, you guys? Because
Very good question.
It appears it's a problem of politics and politicians.
Let me just link the 2 questions that the 2 of you asked. One, I'm not happy with the way we keep on, pegging the issue of politics in this country to an individual, because that's what we've been doing. And it's about time now we start looking at issues. And the only thing we can do is that we have to take it as our own personal responsibility to be able to nurture the leaders of today who are actually, we are holding the leadership for them. These are the young people who are between the ages of 15 and 18 who will graduate from high school. Maybe some of them will not proceed into universities. And then they'll just end up being border drivers or people who just become mambogas. So I think there's a lot that we need to do, and a narrative has got to change. We've got to look at where we have gone wrong, and I would disagree with my brother when he says that we are a young country. We've been able to leapfrog from so many things. We don't really have to go through the same steps that other countries took. Right now we're focused on the service-based rather than industrialization-based economy. So I think the key, most important, is we have to find a way to deal with our divisiveness. I think, and it's only the youth currently, because when you look at the population of this country, in fact, where I come from, there are almost 80% who are between the ages of 18 and 32. So the way to answer his question is that first of all, we have to admit that we politicians have been survivors. You see where the wave is going, depending on, and then you go there. I mean, that's a good example.
If you feel like some people want to attack you, you go there because you know you'll always have your support base. You know, that one is a fact. That one is individualism.
Right.
So now to get into his point, how do you shield yourself from our history and our, you know, sort of like our self-interest, is by encouraging us to now start looking at issue-based politics.